Facebook, it's Juliet, and you would totally laugh if you could see my setup. It's kind of crazy. I'm kneeling on a chair. I've tried to balance the phone on a tripod in the window because it's insisting on doing this vertical format, which I don't like, as you know. Anyway, it's Juliet, and it's day 5, 10, 15 of the 21-day Facebook Live challenge. Oops. And I'm here, as you know, from the Social Enterprise Sisterhood and West Zimbabwe, and I just wanted to pop in and chat to you about 5 ways to save the world. And this builds on my last few days' chat where I was talking about heroes and the trouble with heroes, and of course the great things about heroes and how we love heroes, how some of us would like to be a hero, and how we'd like to change the world. So, and also about the opportunity for business to do social good and actually see your profits go skyrocketing up. Because we've reached a tipping point in the world, everybody, where more than 50% of global consumers would spend more if they can buy from a brand that is doing social or environmental good. So now's the chance. So without further ado, here's your 5 ways to save the world. And they're just different strategies that I've developed and that I've been piloting with my clients. So here we go. Tell me which one you think you would love to do or would suit you, or that tag someone if you can think of one of the strategies would suit them. Okay, ready? Here we go. Don't worry, there's lots of ritzy glitzy celebrity dust I'm going to throw on it, so stand by. Number 1 is the campaigner. Now, this is, well, you have heard of a very small, not very famous musician called Bono from U2. At least I hope so, unless you are about 15, in which case maybe you have an excuse. The rest of you really should have heard about Bono. And he has this campaign called the One Campaign, and he is a campaigner. So the campaigner's tool of choice is their voice. Not necessarily singing, but it could be advocating, it can be gathering people and getting them to make noise on a campaign. Another really famous example is Nobel Prize winning Malala Yousafzai. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Who was is a famous girl. She's only 20 now, and she was shot in Pakistan for going to school, and then had a campaign about why can't girls go to school despite fundamentalist groups trying to prevent them. So she's kind of really amazing. So the campaigners use their voice and they make a change through that way. Are you one of them? Number 2 is an activist. And let me give you a clue. What tool do you think activists use? Yeah, they use their hands. And so activists are someone like, well, right here from Africa, I was going to say from Zimbabwe, but actually it's from a neighboring country, is Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu is a fantastic activist. He likes to get his hands into whatever social issue he's working on and make a change. And he's doing an incredible job. One of the things that he does is he works in HIV prevention, and he has the Tutu bus, which is a bus that he's bought that goes around the Cape Flats, all the informal settlements areas there, helping people to get HIV tested and spreading the message on how to protect yourself. And that's pretty cool in my book. Another famous person who is an activist is Angelina Jolie. We may have mentioned her before, but we haven't said what she is famous for doing. Well, obviously, she directly has adopted plenty of children from developing countries to give them a different chance in life from where they've come from. And she also does a lot of work with refugees. Hi, Tidings, thanks for the love, really appreciate it. And she's someone else who just goes and gets it done. And she stands up, she speaks, she uses her voice, but also her hands. And that, to me, speaks volumes. So that's fantastic. So we've got campaigner and activist so far. So the next one, can you guess what the next strategy is? Well, let me give you a clue. My 2 role models for this, one of them is also an African. Her name is Juliana Rotich, and she is a TED Fellow. And she's invented a number of incredible tech innovations there in there in Kenya that are spreading through Africa. One of them is called the brick, and it's sadly I don't have one to show you, but it looks like a brick basically, and it is a Wi-Fi router that you can put in a village so that everybody can access it. It uses 3 or 4G depending on what you can get in the area from the cell phone network, and you can have a Wi-Fi point in a village and get people information, help, resources that they need. I think that's just fantastic. She's done a whole bunch of other stuff. Check her out, Juliana Rotich. She's an incredible lady. And then another person who has this same strategy is Elon Musk, who, as you know, is revolutionizing solar industry, batteries, cars, electric cars, all kinds of things. The Hyperloop, public transport in the US. So both of these people, what do they use? They use the head. They use these intellectual trailblazing strategies. So they are the trailblazers. So we've got campaigners, activists, trailblazers. What do you think's next? It's the wealth warrior, someone who uses money. Now, of course, it's fantastic if you have your own money to use, and the examples I'm going to give you do both happen to have quite a lot of money of their own. But you can use this strategy even if you don't have any money, because you can leverage the power of the crowd and go for crowdfunding. I have done it myself in a small way, and it works really well. If you can just chuck in a few pennies yourself, get a group together and get them to agree to pay to get this thing done, then now you're a wealth warrior. So the two celebrity examples I have are Melinda Gates from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Warren Buffett, who is a billionaire and one of the richest men in the world. And he constantly, it appears to me, is giving away billions of dollars. And together they have formed the Giving Pledge, where they are encouraging other millionaires and billionaires to give over 90% of their wealth away to change the world and to make things better, to eradicate poverty, to help with childhood diseases, all kinds of things to make the world a better place. And that is pretty rock star in my book. So wealth warrior is another strategy. So Jess, can you remember the first 4? We've had campaigner, we've had activist, we've had trailblazer and wealth warrior. And then the last one is my favorite, which is the high-level influencer. And high-level influencers use influence to achieve their ends. And they basically influence their peers, they influence global leaders, they get them together and they sort out global social or environmental issues. And the two examples I can give you for this is Richard Branson, who famously has started the Elders, which is a group of retired statesmen and women, of course, from the world. And Desmond Tutu is one of them, and various presidents, and gets them together, and they basically develop policies and think tanks and recommendations to current leaders to help them change the world for better. So that's a fantastic thing that he does. And then the female version of that to me is Angela Merkel, who's got to be the most influential lady in Europe at the moment. And what she does with brokering very tricky EU relations is amazing. So she is also a person of principle and someone who does things for the social good. Now, whether or not you like the celebrities I've chosen, it doesn't really matter. The point is there are these 5 strategies, and I would love to hear if one of them appeals to you. So as a quick recap, we've got the campaigner who uses their voice. We've got the activist who uses their hands. We've got the trailblazer who uses their head. We've got the wealth warrior who uses their money. And we've got the high-level influencer who uses their influence. Let me know if any of those strategies appeal to you, what you would love to do, and I will see if I can help you out. Please do share this video if it appeals, and give me a thumbs up, because it'll encourage me to come back tomorrow. So this has been day 15 of my 21-day Facebook Live challenge. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye!